In today's world, slowly and in a very subtle way, the definition of success is about being measured by how much we are able to say yes to. And that fundamentally is leading to an aspect where individuals are fearing to reject or say no because there is that sense of losing out on something. So we present ourselves in a certain way, in a particular way, even if it is false. We value how people will perceive us versus how we really, really feel. We network superficially, but not value knowing people deeply and closely. It is the economic opportunity that we see around us. Now, let's understand what I'm trying to say. The economic system promotes such deception where people say polite things even when they don't want to. People will agree if they don't, and people will pretend to be friends with people they don't actually like. Isn't it true? I mean, I will be amazed to know that this is not a fact experienced by us everywhere at all times. And at this point in time, just to understand where this group is, I would request you to put your thoughts and feelings into the comment section so that I understand where we are moving and how we are moving. But it will also help me to know how relevant is this aspect for you all and for us all. Right? So do comment. Additionally, it also helps me to feel encouraged that you are there with me. So, what really is stopping us from saying no or rejecting? We are taught to strive irrespective, right? We are taught and compelled to fear the aspect of missing out in a big way, so much so that we often feel or find ourselves to be stuck. Let me give some examples. If we feel stuck at something and choose to get out, then we are labeled as quitter. Or let's take a simple example. If we choose to get stuck at one thing, how often do we reach out for help, right? How many of us pursued our education in the field that we wanted to? How often do we find people around us who are stuck in their relationship and both the individuals are not doing good to each other, yet they are stuck there because they are fearing to say no to each other and to that relationship? How many of us are thinking about quitting jobs and moving on and take some risk? How often have we said yes to extra work and overcommitting and ended up compromising our personal time, our time with family, and our mental health? I can give you zillions of examples, and I'm sure you will be able to connect with them and relate with them because these are not new. And I'm 100% sure that we all have experienced these in some shape or form. In some shape or form, where we are saying yes to everything and anything, and we are just thriving and not thriving. Because there is always that lingering fear that stems in from the fact that what if I miss XYZ? What if people think XYZ? And that's the rut that we are stuck in, which leads to the avoidance of rejection and saying no. The avoidance of rejection or saying no, both giving and receiving, is often sold to us in a way that makes ourselves feel better or worse. But avoiding rejections or saying no gives us a short term pleasure by making us directionless and spineless in the longer run. So, this is my submission that we need to start saying no. Otherwise, we stand for nothing. If nothing is better or more desirable than anything else, then we are empty. For live our lives without any purpose and end up glorifying this whole question of what is my purpose, right? I believe in this because to truly appreciate something, one must confine themselves to it. There is a certain level of joy and meaning when you have spent decades investing in a single relationship, a single craft, a single career, and you cannot achieve those decades of investment without rejecting or saying no to alternatives. There is a reason why it is said that 10,000 hours will lead to that level of excellence, because you build the capacity to say no or to reject to things. These are healthy decisions and require rejection and saying no. To value something, you need to start saying no, right? Or let me put it in this way, because I know you might counter me saying that, oh, then are you trying to say that we should say no to everything? We should never say no. Let's not oversimplify things. What I'm trying to say is always be mindful of what you are saying yes to and what you are saying no to, right? Because it's two ends of a spectrum. If you pick one, the other will automatically get picked, and therefore that mindfulness is important, and therefore it is important to understand what would you choose to say no to. Remember, we are defined by what we choose to reject or say no to. Those who don't understand this eventually leave a valueless, pleasure driven, self absorbed life, and all they give a damn is about how to survive a bit longer. In a simple way, honesty is a natural human craving, but part of having that honesty in our lives is becoming comfortable with rejection and saying no or hearing no. This makes our relationships better and emotional lives healthier. But remember, absolute freedom, I repeat, absolute freedom in itself means nothing. Freedom is a choice of commitment to one place, one belief, or person, or things. Commitment, in a way, offers a wealth of opportunity and experiences that otherwise would never be available to us. There is a freedom and liberation in that commitment. I hope you are able to make the connection in terms of what I'm trying to say by pushing you to think of saying no, which will lead to commitment and that will eventually lead to liberation or that freedom. Because with commitment, you are no longer distracted by the unimportant and frivolous. Commitment hones your attention and focus, directing them towards things that are most efficient at making you healthy and happy. Commitment makes decision making much easier. You don't experience the choice paralysis. Like I said, I agree that even the breadth of experience is important. Of course, you should, you must, you have to explore. But my submission to you is to explore with the lens that will help you to understand what is worth investing yourself in or with. And remember, the depth is where the gold is buried, and you have to stay committed to something to dig deep and find it. Relationships, career, lifestyles, health, and everything.